Hey, hey, hey. Good morning. Hope you're doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. I just dropped the girls off at school. Hadn't decided yet if they're going to be part of this thing, whatever it is. Um, so I thought a little bit about the show yesterday, a little bit, and I think what I'm going to try to focus on is being a little more organized. Of course, that makes sense, right? As this goes along, and front load whatever I might be doing. For example, to try to make the first 2 minutes, 5 minutes. I don't know yet what that'll look like, but make the first 2 minutes, power packed. And that way, for people that might be watching the video later, they know they can turn it off. Especially right now when I have no live stream viewers. And maybe never will. Maybe it's all video based. But this is the time that I can record and do stuff, is when I'm in the car by myself driving. So I'm creating something. I'm taking my own keyboard challenge. And that is create something, don't just consume. So today I wanted to talk about what Elizabeth, my wife, shared with me this morning from a Bob Goff devotional, and it was, so much of our identity is wrapped up. So I grew up Christian and grew up in a Christian home, and faith is very important to my life. But a lot of what we do in the religious or Christian world, and this is what Bob Goff, he's a popular speaker, and he's an attorney. But anyway, he was, the blog post that she was sharing with me this morning was that so much of what we do in the church is say, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this. And so we end up finding our identity in just checking the box and really being a poser and not really knowing our authentic selves. And his encouragement was, we need people to tell us who we are. A lot of that who we are in Christ, a lot of that who we are, and more about identity rather than checklist. And I thought that was really good. And so that's what I'm going to be thinking about today. The challenge for today is to tell someone who they are, not what to do. They're a winner. They're some sort of encouragement that says you are a winner. You are a overcomer. You're capable. Something more about identity rather than you need to do better on this test. You need to not do this. You need to stop drinking Diet Coke or stop dipping your pizza in ranch. All those things are do's and don'ts, but rather saying you're a smart person and you can eat better and you know better, and talking more about identity and encouraging people in that way today. So that's the challenge today. I'm going to keep the live stream going. If you're just watching on video, it might be time to get off, simply because I don't know that there's going to be a lot more. I'll keep talking, and who knows where my brain will take me in these next few minutes on the rest of my drive. But that's really the content for today. And hope you join me tomorrow. I might do a live stream here in a little bit. I have a drive. I'm headed out to Elizabethtown for a late breakfast. So I might do a live stream then. I don't know. I've got to do a lot of work between now and then, so I don't know if I can get anything interesting to talk about. If I can print out some talking points, I'll probably live stream again. If not, I will see you tomorrow. Well, come on, let's be honest. No one's seeing these right now except for probably Chinese bots on YouTube. But you get the idea. I'm practicing. I'm getting things going. You're seeing the concept develop live before your eyes. Hopefully, at some point, it becomes good. Right now, admittedly, it's slapped together, and it's not just crappy. It is, yeah, it's crappy. It's not just crappy. It's more than crappy. That's not true either. It's something. Maybe it even encouraged you this morning. I shouldn't talk bad about it. I don't want to talk it down. What I'm saying is I realize that this is not a finished product, and that it's going to take some development. It's going to take some thinking. It's actually going to take some work, rather than just hitting the go live button on my YouTube app in my car. But guess what? That's how we're starting right now, because that's what we've got, and we're starting. I guess that's another thing. Start. Do something. Build something. Holy Moses. There is a massive accident up ahead, and it is blocking Shelbyville Road going the other direction. I am so grateful I'm not coming that direction. And we're going to drive by it. You guys won't get to see it. Here, maybe I'll flip it around real fast. I'm going to keep my eyes on the road, but you can see, wow, that is backed up. And terrible, terrible traffic. Terrible is what Charles Barkley likes to say. Terrible. Cars everywhere. Backed up. You're seeing it live here, only on the Daily Drive with Austin. I'm being silly and having a good time. So I'm gonna flip it back around. I mean, who knows how far this traffic's gonna go. Let's stick with it. Let's stick with it. Let's see what happens here. I normally turn back there, but I'm gonna go up a little bit. Okay, it ends right here. But that's got to be frustrating for people on their commute. So we're back live. I'm gonna put it back in the case here. I guess that's kind of like the video camera stand. So, yeah, I guess it's time for some more filler. Stretch it out, Austin. Stretch it out. You got more commute. I mean, I could turn it off right now, right? I could. Oh, going back to what I was saying, is make something. Make something. Man, in my son for Mother's Day, and in our Mother's Day card for Elizabeth, he drew a turtle, and it was really good. He made something. And we do that as kids. We're not intimidated. We're not afraid. We're not. I was a little embarrassed when I saw that these videos were automatically posting to Twitter yesterday. I was a little embarrassed because I was like, people are gonna see this. People. I thought about deleting the tweets. My brother wrote me and he said, "What are you doing on YouTube?" And I said, I'm doing a daily show from my car on my drive into work. He said, "That's crazy." But he was very encouraged. He said, I love it. And I was a little embarrassed to tell him what I was doing. I was like, oh, it's not, because it needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of work. I mean, the lighting is all funky. It needs work. And I don't know, maybe I'm never going to solve that. Maybe that's not important. The content absolutely has to improve, and the conversation, and I want people to actually watch, and I want people to watch the live stream. I want people to comment so that I can respond. The conversation will be much more interesting than me rambling on about traffic on Shelbyville Road and my embarrassment about Twitter. But you know what? That's what we got to work with today. The Bob Goff emotional this morning is what was on my mind. And so that's what we got today. Got a text from my wife. It does pop up over the video. That's nice, because that way I can read them and be aware of them. So, but man, another beautiful day here in Kentucky. I tell Elizabeth a lot. I tell her that the grass gets so green that I actually could see why someone would call it bluegrass. It's so green it almost becomes blue. It's so bright, vibrant, alive. One of the great things about Louisville, Kentucky is it has 4 solid seasons. And right now we are on the tail end of spring, the front end of summer, and the green is starting to pop. It was like all of a sudden the road around our house just came alive with green. Trees budding and it just being bright and beautiful. Here, and another great day. It's 79 degrees outside. 8:26 a.m. You are on the Daily Drive with Austin. You know, I don't know, once again, I'm working on the name. I welcome input. I think the name will eventually change. I like Daily Drive. I like that so far. I like the Deep Drive, but I don't want to insinuate that these are going to be deep conversations, because I go back and forth whether or not it should be. Maybe every now and then, but for the most part, it just needs to be uplifting. It needs to be encouraging. It needs to be positive. It needs to be life-giving, and ultimately challenge people to be their best, wherever they find themselves today, to always be growing. To be growing in their mind, to be growing in their heart, to be growing in their body, in their choices, just better decisions every day. And because it's a challenge to myself, right? I'm kind of stuck in my ways. I'm at that age, 39, where you say, are my bad habits really just my bad habits, and I just need to get used to them and just accept them? And I think the answer is absolutely not. I think it is at a point in my life where I need to be getting better every day. And no, I'm not going to turn into Mr. Universe, 1, at 39 years old, or 2, by sitting in the car talking on YouTube. But I can make healthy decisions. I can eat right. I can exercise. I can go play basketball and do those kinds of things that are a little bit better than yesterday. And so that's the whole point of all this. A little bit better than yesterday. And then by degrees, it makes a big difference. I forget who I was reading or watching, or a blog post. I can't remember if it was like a 1% improvement. I think it was, I was watching something about bicycling, competitive bicycling, road racing, and there was a group that said, we're just going to get, I think it was some London team that won the Tour de France recently, but the coach was, we're just going to get 1% better. We're going to get 1% more sleep. We're going to increase the efficiency of the helmet by 1%. We're going to improve pedal technique by 1%. We're going to make the pillowcase 1% better for our athletes. We're going to improve our diet by 1%, and you start to add that up. One, it's a compound improvement, that whenever sleep's 1% and pedal efficiency is 1%, you're probably seeing a greater than 1% improvement overall, because you're improving two areas. Now, you may not be seeing a 2% improvement, but you start to do 1% in a bunch of different places. 1% better on the milk that we're providing our athletes, 1% better on the vitamin regime, and a 1% improvement seems extremely doable. And so maybe that's the bonus challenge as I pull in here to the office. That's a bonus challenge to anyone who made it 16 minutes of my rambling, is improve something by 1% today. What can you do 1% better? If that's cut off 1% of a piece of cake that you're having today and just swipe it into, you can have 99% of the cake that you normally have. Even better, cut it in half, or take 2 bites and enjoy it, and then say, you know what, I'm happy. That satisfies. So maybe the food's not, I don't know what to improve 1%, but if you and I can continue to make incremental improvements in our lives, man, that's challenging. Can I do 1% better in my finances, 1% better in my faith, 1% better as a husband, 1% better as a father, 1% better as a driver, 1% better as part of my daily show. 1% better. I like that. And that's what we're going to end on today. So the 2 challenges are today: tell someone who they are in a positive way, not what they need to do better, not how they need to act. And the other challenge is for you to be 1%. That's my boss passing behind me right there. 1% better. Hope you have a great day. Always be growing. That's what I'm going to be striving for as well.